move that camera, put it back a little bit. It's okay. It's just the corner of it. All right, you ready? And 3, 2. Good evening, everybody. I'm Paul Bull with Football University. We're here in San Antonio, enjoying some great night of 8th grade football. Halftime, it's 6-0. Texas over who we got going? Massachusetts. Great football. I'm joined here by Anthony Williams. We want to ask Anthony Williams some questions. Anthony, if you would, please give us some background on who you are, your role with FBU, and what's some of the exciting stuff going on here today.
My name is Anthony Williams. I'm the Southwest Regional Director of Scouting for Football University. I'm based out of Austin, Texas. I've been with the company for 5 years, and it's my job to help find talent to put in our great games, starting with our camps, our FBU camps, into Top Gun, and then games like this, finding teams like Dallas and putting kids in that, and then getting them ready to play in some of our crown jewel games, the East Bay Youth game and the Army All-American game.
Great, exciting stuff. So FBU starts this national championship this year. We've started with 40 teams around the country. We brought 5 in this week to battle to become the national champion. Tell us a little bit about some of the games you attended, some of the talent maybe you saw, and some of the excitement that's happening here in San Antonio since we've been rolling this week.
It's been a great tournament with a lot of talent from different parts of the country. I think right now the most impressive team has been Team Oregon. They kind of came in as an underdog from the West Coast. Nobody had really seen them. They had a really good quarterback. I don't remember the names right now. Really good quarterback, a good running back, and a really good receiver with excellent offensive line play. And they pulled a mild upset over Kentucky and was down 21-0 right here to a very good Florida team, and came back, and if it wasn't for special teams, they would have won that game maybe, but they lost 21-20. So really impressed with the Oregon team, really impressed with the talent on the Florida team also. And then in this game right now, we've got Team Texas up at halftime, 6-0 over Massachusetts, and we got really good talent, reflecting from the East Coast and from the great state of Texas.
Yeah, that's one of the exciting things I think we've noticed with this tournament is we've had some great battles, and we've had examples of that is out in Albuquerque a couple weeks ago. We brought in teams from Oklahoma, we had Nevada, we had Utah, all playing in New Mexico, and so that's 8th grade talent traveling across the country, halfway across the country in some cases, and facing each other. And that kind of situation won't happen until these kids are lucky enough, some of them, to move on and play college ball.
Well, I think that's the premise with you being the commissioner that we've got behind these games in this tournament. Give kids a chance to face competition outside of their area instead of waiting until they get to high school or even into college. I mean, how often is a really good 8th grader going to play against some kid 2 or 3 states away? You're used to playing talent in your own area. So I think this tournament is really opening the eyes of some really good players to let them know, yes, you're really good in your area, but you're also really good in your region or in the West Coast or in the East Coast. And so, back when you and I played, Paul, we didn't have that. You played for your neighborhood and maybe for your little, part of the city. But these kids are playing against competition at a higher level, and some kids are really rising to the occasion, and some kids are figuring out, I got to go back and get work to do, and hopefully they can do that at an upcoming FBU camp.
So on top of this brand new product we've got with Football University, the National Championship, there's a whole lot of activity going on here in the city of San Antonio. We've got the U.S. Army All-American game happening Saturday on NBC. We've got right after that the championship game here between the winner of this game and Florida. That'll be played in the Alamo Dome. That night we've got a junior combine, youth combine, 300 kids from across the country going to compete. But another exciting thing on Sunday, we've got the East Bay Youth All-American Games. You talked about bringing in some of the talent from all over the country. Give us a little background on the East Bay, how we get those kids, where those kids come from, and then some of the talent that's going to be out on the field on Sunday.
Well, the East Bay game is fast becoming our crown jewel game for the youth. East Bay's been a great sponsor, as Adidas is, and along with the Army. But Paul and I, you and I were at the check-in, the registration, and the talent coming in for the East Bay games, and specifically, I'd say if you have time, be in front of your computers for the USA-Canada game. There are some really good-looking 15U players on both the American side and the Canada side. I'm really looking forward to that game that kicks off at 2 o'clock on Sunday. But the East Bay game is as good as these games are. The talent in the East Bay games is maybe just a slight notch above that. Really good talent, with very skilled kids with very good fundamental technique, showcasing their speed, their strength, and their athleticism. So those games on Sunday will be as entertaining as the Army game will be Saturday at 12 o'clock when it kicks off on NBC.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good combination. We've got the national championship, and you bring local talent, the best of the best in the area. They practice, they play, they travel, and it ends up in a championship week here. East Bay, we bring the best team, the best talent in from that attend. 80% of those teams are filled from kids that we see at our FBU camps and at our Top Gun camp at the end of the year in July in Williamsburg, Virginia. So it's a good combination. It's a little bit different, but it's all really good, talented football. Again, 80% of that East Bay talent that you'll see broadcast on Sunday is filled from kids who come to our camps that we do around the country. We do them in Canada. We got them now going in Europe, and we see those kids. Tell us just a little bit about the process that we do in selecting those kids, how we select them, how do they go to Top Gun, and then the process for East Bay selection.
That process for you kids that are out there watching, you're saying, hey, I'm watching these games, I'm watching my buddy play, hey, I'm as good, I think I might be able to play in that game next year. It all starts with attending an FBU Football University camp. We're going to have 50 of them across the nation in 2012, starting in January and running through July. So if you want to find out more information about the camp, which is a great camp, it's a great camp not only for exposure, but also for developing technique and making yourself a better player no matter what program you're in. So it all starts with a attendance at the Football University camp. The best of those camps get invited to Top Gun. Top Gun takes place out in Virginia. 1,200 of the top youth and high school players will converge out in Virginia, and the best against the best take place out there. And then from that, we pick our youth combine, our Army national combines, and potential kids for the Army All-American game. With the East Bay game being in its 4th year, this will be the first year that we'll have your first year East Bay Youth All-Americans participating in the Army Combine. And next year will be really exciting because we'll have our first East Bay Youth All-Americans playing in the Army All-American game. And there's a young man in Florida, Sonny Michelle, which I think will have a good chance when he comes back from that injury to have a chance to be the first East Bay alumni to play in the Army game.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff, and that's what FBU is about. It's about the progression. We work with 6th graders all the way through seniors in high school, and they've got a path. They go to the camps, they get better technically. They go to local camps, then they go to camps against Top Gun, which is the best in the country. They got the venues like these where we bring in the championship teams. We've got the East Bay Bowls. We've got the combines, and then the ultimate, the crown jewel, is the U.S. Army All-American game. And again, that's broadcast Sunday, NBC, 5 o'clock. Anthony, I'd like to thank you for joining me. I appreciate the time, and I'm looking forward to this second half of football to see who Florida's going to be participating and battling against Saturday in the Alamo Dome right after the U.S. Army All-American game.
Good job, guys.
All right.
You guys